I'm back. Well, cleaning or not cleaning the shed. Yeah. I'm not cleaning yet. So I'm about to start cleaning the shed. And I said, screw this. I'm going to stop for a second and do a beer review. So let's get into it. Yes. Howdy do. Back from a long absence. And I will not be getting into why or anything else. No New Year's resolutions. Except for that I've been very unattentive of getting this beer review done. This is the Gnarly Brown, cloned by Mr. Wally Feck, Mr. Homebrew Wednesday. And I've had this beer for a couple months and embarrassingly have not done the review yet. It's still staring at me in the fridge. Whew. And for whatever reason, I never open it. Pumped. This is the Gnarly Brown. This is his clone of the Gnarly Brown from MadTree, I think, which is one of his favorite breweries. I know I've seen his stuff in his basement and his glass. I didn't really pick this glass because it's appropriate for style. I just think it's a cool glass. And I don't remember too much more commentary, if there was any, on the Gnarly Brown, other than the cap said it's 7% alcohol, and that he was a pretty big fan of it. And I do love a really well-made brown. It's a style that does not get enough attention, in my opinion, and I've only done a couple brewed myself, and I've loved them each time, so I don't know why I don't go back to them more. So it poured out really dark. It's definitely brown. It's not black. You can even see it there in the bottom. But it is a dark, dark brown. It's crystal clear. Poured out with a nice khaki head on top. Really fine, fine bubbles. Right off the nose, you get some of those roasty, but not like stout roasty, but like almost those deep malty. Gosh, almost raisiny note to it on the nose. You can smell what might be a little bit of sweetness in there. Look like this thing's going to have some lacing to it. Doesn't look overcarved. So we're going to dive into this. Cheers to Wally Feck. Let's dive in. Oh. If that's anything close to what is brewed by MadTree, I can see why you're a big fan. And I think they actually, did they discontinue it? For some, like, political reason? And so I know the profile might have changed a little bit since he sent it to me a couple months ago. But the taste follows the nose pretty closely with a couple differences. It has a firm bitterness in the background, not a bitterness, not like a acridness or an astringency from the malt. It's a hop bitterness. And what's really cool is it stays steady throughout. Like the first thing you get's a little bit of that hop bitterness. And then it kind of stays level throughout the entire experience. And that's not a bad thing. It's actually really good. Because you've got kind of like this bitterness, and then you have what I was described in the nose, these dark, like caramelly toffee raisin. There's definitely some raisin notes in there. Maybe kind of dates. So some like really dark fruits that have some like residual sugar to them and complexity. Wow, that is delicious. Gosh, there's something else I can't wrap my mind around. And here's the thing: is I think I'm not going to sit here and wait for it to warm up for the review necessarily, but I can tell as good as this thing is right now, as this warms up a little bit, I'm going to keep it while I'm doing some work around the shed. You see I'm in a t-shirt. It's like 60 degrees at 9 o'clock at night in Georgia. This is January 3rd. But this thing is going to be amazing, even more amazing when it warms up. There is something pretty special about the way that it has that backbone. So a lot of times when you get hop presence, the lingo is more the malt is balancing out the hops. I think of it the other way in this beer, even it being a dark and it's being a brown, it's a very good brown, but it has a platform of hop bitterness, and then all the other malty, sweet, toffee, coffee kind of flavors almost meld around that to make it more complex than the other way around. Usually a hop bitterness in a brown is purely to offset the sweetness and to kind of give it a little balance, but this is pretty awesome. I could drink way too much of that. It does not taste like 7%. The mouthfeel is probably medium, so it's not light. Carbonation is spot on. It's on the lighter end. I can see why you like this beer, Mr. Feck. Woo! So, I'm going to get out of here. Delicious beer by Wally Feck. I will try to link below to his channel if by some chance you're not watching Wally Feck. And I've got to reciprocate the good deed. So I think I'm going to be brewing an IPA pretty soon. Probably a lower end ABV IPA, so it won't take that long. I'm thinking once I finally get that done, I may have a decent backlog of things to start shipping out to people, and Wally is on my list. So Wally, cheers. Whew. Thank you, sir. That is a delicious beer, and the only reason I'm not drinking it more right now is because I want to see what it's like when it warms up, or else I'd be just downing this. Ooh, that's yummy. Cheers again. Y'all have a good one. I'll be back soon. I promise. I promise I'll be back soon with at least some lame explanation of why I've not been around. But we'll see you then. Cheers and Happy New Year, everybody out there. Thanks for watching.